Hey, today I'm going to be reviewing this Nature's Head Composting Toilet. I'll give you the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, and my personal opinion about it. Here's how this toilet works. First, we'll look inside. What happens is you essentially have a door here. I'll call it the shit door. You open that up, and your poop goes there. And then as you pee, it goes into these two holes. Take note of the fly there. As you pee, usually you have the plastic jar here. I, however, made a different mount for a boat where it goes through a tube. The plastic jar fills up in about 1.5 to 2 days, and it stinks. So when you're done, you close the shit door here, and you turn this crank. And that's essentially going to mix the poop with peat moss. Now moving on, what happens is over here we just have an open vent for air to come in and aerate the peat moss inside. Where over here, this has an exhaust fan, so you plug it in here. And then you put a tube going out of whether it's your boat, RV, small house, whatever it is, goes out here. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and take a look inside. I'm gonna warn you, it's gross. These latches here come apart. Pretty simple on that, and you pull the hinge off. Now we're inside, and yeah, essentially what happens is the poop again mixes with the peat moss, as you can tell, and theoretically it's supposed to break down and be clean and scent free. I used it twice since I last cleaned it, and the smell inside was disgusting, and now I have to waste time getting this shit into a bag and removed and clean this whole operation here. I'm gonna show you how this is done. I did move it to the grass because the peat moss is gonna fall here. That's not nice on the dock. It's more work to clean. So I'm gonna open it up again. Separate it from the hinge here. A little thing I want to point out here is if you look, shit and peat moss gets stuck on all these little nooks and crannies here, and all this nasty stinky mix is stuck inside of here, and it's pretty much impossible to get very clean. What you do, and honestly this bag's a little small for this, but it's what I have around, so be it. But you fit that on the toilet, and you have like a bigger black bag. This is easier, but you do that. Turn it around, give it a few taps, shake it. The moisture inside of here makes it not compost well. It ends up caking to things. So let me show you the agitator in work now that it's empty. So you do is you crank this, and that mixes up your poop peat moss mix. Some people also use coconut coir. It's not a bad idea, but you gotta break it apart. It's more work and less available. Some people say to just leave this shit in here. You can if you want, but I find it gets grosser even quicker. So what I end up doing is I actually take a trusty flathead here, and I go ahead and just get it off. So what I actually did do is I went ahead and I blasted this with a hose to clean it out. Same thing here. One other pet peeve to make note of is sometimes slight amounts of urine will get through the poo door here, and as you can tell, when that water mixes too, it all gets stuck and trapped over here, and you get a smell that is again by far worse than a typical septic tank that you'd have on a RV or boat. So as you can tell, you have nothing crazy here. This is just normal peat moss. I will say this goes a long way. You take it, you fill it, and there is a little trick here. First, when you get the stuff in here, whoops, you do want to break it in clumps, break the clumps up. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. One thing I want to show you here important is, see the turny blade here. When you fill it, you want to be just slightly above this mixer when it's sitting horizontal here, okay? So just go a little bit above it. If you go too high, you're kind of just wasting product. If you go too low, you're gonna get a really bad stink. Grab your top and put it back. Other note, I like things clean and orderly. If you could tell there's grime around here, it's pretty much impossible to make this thing thoroughly clean, which kind of drives me nuts, but I've learned to ignore it. So I put this on. I'm gonna haul this back in the boat. So what you do next is, there's little clips you install here, and you just put them in. So now what you do is this little cord here goes into the fan. Another problem I want to point out is it's very easy to get crud in here. And again, I'm now tracking more dirt into my nice clean boat. And then, so good example here, so I have this exhaust vent here going out. Side note, if you're installing this in a boat, make sure this is, you know, probably a good 2 feet above the water line, or when you're going out, you're gonna splash water in here. You couple that in. So my final opinion about the toilet in here. I've had times where you'd fill it to the right level, you'd use it, and it would be pretty stink-free and trouble-free. Usually it lasts about a week and a half until you have to empty it and redo it again. That tends to take me about 30 minutes. There has been times where it's been trouble-free and I like it. Then there's other times I'll do the same exact thing and it'll be disgusting in 3 days and I have to change it, and then it's disgusting again. So my personal opinion, I think if you're somewhere in a drier climate, it might work better. But in humid weather, it definitely is not ideal.